My name is Deven Birje, and I am currently a research fellow of IIT Gandhinagar. I'll be talking about our work on the flexible strain sensors. So, this will be a brief outline for today's talk. Talking about the flexible strain sensors. These are basically a device which we use to measure a strain of an object by measuring a change in the electrical resistance. There are other type of strain devices wherein you measure the change in electrical capacitance and electrical voltage, but currently we will focus on the electrical resistance for this talk. One important parameter for this kind of sensor is the Gauss factors, which tells about the sensitivity of a strain sensor. If the Gauss factor is higher, the sensitivity will be higher, and vice versa. Such kind of sensors can be used to monitor the finger bending as shown in this figure. But the limitation of such kind of sensor is that because of its isotropic nature, if you apply strain from a different directions in the sensors, it will not be able to distinguish the directions from which the strain is applied. And that's where we need multi-dimensional strain sensors, because in real life, if you see the strain is applied from a different kind of direction, and distinguishing this direction is a very important thing. There are basically two approaches for making such kind of multiple strain sensors. First one is the surface patterning, and one of the method is shown here, wherein the carbon and silver nanowire is the screen printed on a polyurethane substrate. And as you can see, it was demonstration that it can be used to measure the twisting and bending of a wrist. So if you want to measure the bending of a wrist, you can measure the change in electrical resistance in the electrode A and C. And if you want to measure like a twisting of your wrist, you can measure the change in electrical resistance along the B and D sensors. Another approach is by integration of multiple sensors, where you take different kind of sensors which are capable of detecting in only one direction, and you integrated them. So one of them approach is shown here, wherein the three sensors are integrated and encapsulated using the PDMs as an encapsulation. Such kind of sensors can be used to assess in weightlifting. So if any of you had done the bench pressing, so the angle between the hand and this part of the body is a very important part for the training. And if the posture is not correct, then the training will not be correct, and also it might lead to some injuries. Such kind of sensors can be used to monitor the posture and assist in a weightlifting. Also, this kind of sensors can be used in in a cricket. If you see the hand bowling, for the hand gesture is very important. So such kind of things can be done using this kind of multiple sensors. But the problem with the methodologies that were discussed earlier was it is like a complex kind of process or required a multiple steps. And second thing is the hydrophobicity is not reported, which is a important factor, because this kind of sensors will be used in the wearable applications, and to protect it from a sweat or a fluid related problems like water splash, the hydrophobicity is needed. So we use a very simple methodology known as a replica molding, wherein we made a PDMS and carbon nanotubes composite and poured it on a stainless steel template, which was a laser textured microgroup. And then we cured it for 48 hours at a room temperature, and then after that we demolded it. So four such sensors were textured samples were prepared with the dimension given here, and one untextured sample were prepared for the reference. And as you can see, the optical micrographs and line scans of the prepared sensors. So in the optical micrographs, you can clearly see the surface topographies like a good replicated from the laser template. And the light scan, you can see the topographies of the prepared samples. So another important parameter in terms of like a wetting field, if you talk about, is the Wenzel roughness, which is basically a ratio of 3D surface area to a 2D projected area. But in case of like a regular surface like a grooves, you can another equation you can use is the ratio of a 2D line length by the 1D line. Wherein the 2D length is nothing but this red color line, and 1D line length is the total line scan that we use, that is 500 micron. So we did like a 10 such line scans, and average values of a Wenzel roughness are plotted here. So yeah, this is the SEM image of the carbon nanotubes that we use. Now let's talk about the results part. So first one about the wetting studies. So all the prepared like configuration for the all the prepared samples in the wetting was a Wenzel state, wherein the droplet molecules got penetrated inside the textures, and in such cases the contact angle can be given by the equation given here, Wenzel equation. For the untextured, the contact angle was a 104 degree, and for the textures, we measured along like parallel to the grooves and also the perpendicular to the grooves. And you can clearly see there is anisotropy in the contact angles parallel to the grooves and perpendicular to the grooves. Also, the hydrophobic, if you compare with the untextured sample, the hydrophobicity got enhanced because of the texturing. And the last one you can see in the these two plots is that the parameter that I discussed earlier, the Wenzel roughness, showed a good linear correlation with the contact angle. The second property is the mechanical properties. So we stretch the samples in like a parallel to the grooves and the perpendicular to the grooves. And in that also you can see a clear anisotropy in the Young's modulus. And if you compare with the untextured sample, the Young's modulus has like significantly increased because of that texture. Third and the most important is the electrical conductivity part. So we measure the electrical conductivity of the all sensors and plotted it against the parameter known as a pitch by width. So pitch is nothing but the distance between the grooves that we prepared. So distance between the like peak to peak distance is nothing but a pitch, and the ratio of like width is basically a width of each microgroove. So it also showed a good correlation with the electrical conductivity. So for the application part, we attach those sensors on the finger, and we use a copper tape for the electrodes. The sensors you can see, these are the electrodes, and it used for the finger bending application. So yeah, finally in the conclusion, we demonstrated we are really easy and a cost-effective approach to make a multi-dimensional strain sensor, and it showed an anisotropy in this contact angles, Young's modulus, and electrical conductivity. And the important fact is the textures significantly affected all those parameters. The contact angles showed a good linear correlation with the Wenzel roughness, and the ratio of the like pitch by width had to good to moderate correlation with the electrical current. And among all the prepared sensors, the G3 along the parallel to the grooves demonstrated the optimum results in terms of like electrical conductivity and contact angle. So the future work is to extend this study for the deeper textures to optimize the selectivity of the direction for this kind of sensors and do the electrical mechanical study. So lastly, these are people who I want to thanks. Yeah, thank you.